moving on from Davos, it's a big setback for Google in India. The Supreme Court has refused to stay their appeal against a 1,300 crore rupee fine imposed by the Competition Commission of India. Remember, the CCI had found the company guilty of exploiting its dominant position in the Indian mobile market, but Google had challenged that decision in the top court. The Apex Court has given Google a week's time to comply with the CCI order. My colleague Raksha Behani is here with more details. Let's take a look.
Well, yes, in a big breaking that we are tracking here on ET Now, Supreme Court has declined to interfere with the NCLAT order, which was refusing to stay CCI or the Competition Commission of India's penalty that it had imposed on tech giant Google worth 1,338 crores. Now, what Google has said about it in an earlier blog post also, and it continues to stand by it, which is this, that if they were to abide by CCI's order of not just paying penalty, but also taking other routes that CCI had recommended, then it will actually be putting the entire digital ecosystem of the country, or the 97% of the smartphone users who use Android phones, at fault. Now, what will happen is that devices that have been built on incompatible forks will then prevent Google from securing those devices, because this is what CCI has said, that Google is taking undue advantage of its market dominance, and that Google should allow other app stores also apart from Google Play Store to be functioning on Android smartphones. The point that CCI is making is that because Google is taking undue advantage, it is putting other Indian apps at risk, or at sort of at an incompetent advantage, because now apps such as Map My India, which could have otherwise been a good digital mapping app, it does not get that kind of exposure because of the pre-installed apps such as Google Maps that any Android users will get on their phones. Now, what Google has said is that while they have been asked by CCI to at least pay 10% of the entire penalty amount within the first 7 days, they have again warned that if the CCI's orders were to be followed, then app developers will actually now have to pay higher costs, and they will no longer have the level playing field that they today have with Android, and larger developers who can actually support a wider range of incompatible forks will be able to dominate the market based on their scale rather than the quality of their product. But what this also means is that 1,338 crore penalty that CCI had slapped on Google last year, now Google will have to end up paying that entire amount, and as I said, 10% of that in the first coming 7 days.
Well, absolutely.